Welcome to the hang.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
I don't know if that opening catchphrase is working.
No?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe it is. It's like I saw the downloads were way more. What? What? Why is that funny? Is it a reason that I don't know about?
Yeah. I'll.
You got to tell me these things.
Well,
you can't expect me to.
I will, but I can't do it on the mic. So if you want to,
how about you do it like 5 days ago, asshole?
because we don't talk.
Well, if you don't want me to bring shit up,
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna start calling you later tonight. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just gonna start hounding you. I mean, you won't pick up the phone.
I don't pick up the phone. Boy, nobody calls me.
Same.
I don't. I mean, my phone does not ring. It rings all day long with scam calls.
Scam calls.
But
yeah.
nobody legitimately calls my number. I mean, I get some texts occasionally, but nobody ever calls me.
And I'm strangely great with that. You know?
I never liked talking on the phone before we had texting, and now it's like, wow, now I never have to talk on the phone again.
I've carved out my little autistic lane that I just hang out in, and that's that. It's all good.
Of course, sometimes it's like you just got to pick up the phone and go, okay, this is going to be an hour and 10-minute text deal, or it could be a 3-minute phone conversation.
Yeah.
And then, you're in the middle of the text thing with somebody, and then they walk away from your phone, and I'm like, are you going to get back to me?
Well, the spam calls,
sucks.
It's so weird because I thought, we switched providers and phones and all this kind of stuff a few months back. And it was like, we were with, whatever company we were with. It was maddening with the spam calls. I'm going, this has got to be a company thing. Like, this has got to be the provider issue. And so I'm thinking once we switch providers, I'm going, hopefully all this gets better and goes away. No, it's the same. And I'm going, I thought those numbers, it used to be private or I don't know. I thought, the cell phone was a private sort of thing. And I get that not many people have landlines and cell phones. It's the way it goes. Right. But I feel like it shouldn't be the way it's going right now.
No, not at all.
It's getting out of control.
Boy, you could have an unlisted number.
Oh.
This is talking back in the landline.
Yeah.
A landline with an unlisted number. Nobody would ever call you. And unless you gave him
I feel like
great.
It's almost like that's going to be the next move for cell phone companies to make extra cash is hey, all right, well, we'll list your number for another $5 a month, let's say, right? I feel like that's going to be a move in the future.
See, that's what it is. See, because they could stop. They're not trying to stop it.
Right. They're not trying to stop it at all.
So what they're doing is letting it get so bad that, hey, you can opt out of all this bullshit for $5 a month, and they're going to make $1 billion.
And then you miss the call from your doctor's office that you had an appointment.
Yeah.
You go, God damn it.
That's what it is. It's a work. It's a long con. It's a long con.
I really think it is a long con for real.
Because it doesn't make sense.
No.
It's your company, and you're letting all these people from all over the world, make up phone numbers resembling my phone number and spoof people and con people and harass them. You don't do nothing about it.
I made the mistake about a month ago answering the phone. It was a number I didn't recognize, and I'm going,
yeah,
okay, let me take a chance, right? For some reason, I was like, let me pick it up. Pick it up. Guy goes, Matt, hey, man, how are you? I'm like, good. Hey, it's such and such over at such and such investors, man. Wanted to just connect with you, man. How were things? Weekend was good. Everything's good. And I'm going, oh, dude, he got me, and I'm roped into a conversation with this guy, right? So then I'm politely getting out of it. I'm like, all right, yeah. I'm good, thank you. But now it's almost like it ramped up since then because it's like, okay, now just because I didn't want to talk to this guy doesn't mean that this guy now knows that this is a good number to call. He's spreading it to everybody else.
You're gonna get the foot in the door,
right? Of going, hey, it's a warm number, right? and then that spreads out like wildfire. So then I noticed the spam calls really cranked up since I actually picked it up and talked to this dildo.
That's what it's all about, because I think they're just calling, and if you pick up, that's one rating. Oh, you got to pick up.
Yeah.
Or if you talk, oh, that's a bigger rating. And you talk for a long time. Then you really sell that number. This is a lock,
dude. Yeah, it's getting out of control.
Bunch of bull.
Hey, get off my lawn, baby.
It's that's the way it is. It's a bunch of old man talk now, because back in the day we didn't have corporations.
Oh, we going back in the day? It was what 5 minutes in we're doing it back in the day.
Back in the day. There didn't used to be corporations that ran everything, and you had terrible customer service. It's not being an old man back in the day guy to say, companies used to sell you stuff, and then if it was shitty, they'd make good on it. That is not a thing anymore. That's fine, and that's horse shit. They don't give a damn about customer service. Well, we got 18 million people behind you. Next.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know.
Shitty.
I 20 years ago, I wasn't talking to some buddy named John from India. Hello, this is Jonathan. Is it Jonathan? Okay, all right, I'll go with it. Sure, I'll go with
it's
it.
Always it's always Jonathan.
or be a dude named Teresa. You're like, what? Okay, sure, I'll go with that too. Whatever you want to do, fine. But my thing is, I don't even care where the customer service is based, to be quite honest with you. Like, that's not my complaint. My complaint is actually just being able to understand them. And I don't mean that in a dickhead way. It's just, I can't understand you. Just like maybe they can't understand my dialect, I can't understand theirs. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. It's just a truthful thing. When I can't, God damn it. I want to understand you. You're friendly.
Of course you're
nice. There's no problem.
No problem.
It's not you. It's not me. It's the fact that you speak naturally a different language with a different dialect and everything. And then you're going to call me, or I'm going to call you, and you're going to pretend that you're an American that speaks perfect English, and that's just not the way it is.
They're insulting you.
And
they're insulting. That's insulting you to your face.
But it's not their fault.
But the corporation is insulting you. The corporation that hired Jonathan and told him to change his name to Jonathan. Hello, this is Jonathan. What can I help you?
And then you go on their website, and it's like, proudly serving customers in America since, and you go, okay, yeah. I mean, you are, but you aren't, but you are. You're half and half in it.
You see, it's so frustrating. It should be illegal.
Like, you're dropping off the propane in America.
That's all it is.
But your customer service is not based in America. And when you call the local number, you can't get through to anybody.
There's a local number?
That tells you to call the other number, which is based in India. It's that whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Here's a great example. So my website is on Wix.
Yeah.
And so we were having some problems because they said I couldn't upload videos, and I bought unlimited storage. I can upload as many.
Ooh.
And so finally we get somebody on the phone, and they're going to talk me through some stuff, and it's this Indian person, and I'm like, getting every third word. I'm like, I got somebody live to help me with my problem. I need this to be solved. And I just let her ramble on for a couple of minutes. I went, oh yeah, I think I got it. Okay. And then I hung up, and I was like, well,
I think
that's, Donna calls because I'm just I'm like, well,
bring in the lefty.
I was like, we're done. It can't be solved because I'm not calling back. We're not going to
bring in the enforcer.
And she got a British guy on the phone with me, and he was quite helpful, and he told me everything to do and solve the problem immediately.
Was his name Grant?
His name was Enrico.
Whoa!
No, I'm just kidding.
He was a Spanish guy pretending to be English.
Hey, put on an American accent. Why don't they teach take the people in customer service overseas and send them to accent class?
They do.
They do.
That's a thing.
Oh,
that is a real thing.
It ain't helping that much.
No, but I mean, it could be worse. I think I remember seeing a 60 Minutes thing on that back in the day, where it's part of the customer service training where they have to learn sort of like a little bit of English dialect, and then or American dialect, and then also some of the verbiage that we use comparatively speaking to their country, so they can kind of, have a nice rapport.
It sucks.
Dude,
Sucks.
I'll tell you something old school I did over the weekend.
Yeah.
That it wasn't a get off my lawn moment, but it was like a great American just shithole thing to do. Was I went to a birthday party at a roller skating rink for the kids.
Yeah.
I hadn't stepped foot.
Did you skate?
No.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't either.
I was half tempted,
I
dude.
used to, but I
was half tempted.
That hurts.
That's so funny you say that. One of the first things I noticed is you just see bodies just dropping. And they started doing a thing. They had somebody dressed up as like an alligator mascot or something. And then they did the Macarena or something. They're like, no, it was a stomp 2 times. Now everybody clap your hands.
One of those deals.
One of those deals. But they're doing the stomp 2 times. But when you stomp, you got to jump up and then stomp. So you just hear bodies hitting the floor. Just bodies raining down on the roller skating rink. But I walked in there and I'm like, I hadn't, again, roller skating, like, I don't know. I didn't know that was still really around. And I don't think a lot, right? But I was walking in.
There's a couple left. There's not many.
And I'm thinking, all right, what's it going to be like? Have they modernized it? Like, have they gone full LEDs? Like, what's the look here? Big LED screen behind there, a lot of movers, lasers. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I walked in. Dude, it was exactly what you'd expect it to be, and it was great. The whole neon carpet, the old school floor, just terrible paint jobs, big cotton candy things, combo meals, terrible arcade games. Like, it was everything that you'd expect, and for some reason, and by the way, no alcohol, which was kind of awesome. Probably liability.
They can't. I don't think. Yeah, I think you can do that at skating.
Bodies were falling as is, right? But that was kind of, it was nice. But I guess my thing is, like, I walked in first and was like, ew. Like, eh. But then I sort of embraced it. I'm going, there is a certain beautiful thing to this old school roller skating rink that is, it doesn't really, not many people, like, if it wasn't a birthday party, I wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be trendy. They want to do all this hot shit.
That's why
It was kind of cool.
Was it packed?
I mean,
crowded
for a Saturday or Sunday mid-afternoon, it was, a lot of birthday parties.
Because I wonder how they do, and I wonder if that's, eventually will be the death of them because they don't go for the younger crowd. Or there's no point in going for the younger crowd because the younger crowd's not going to go out and roller skate.
Dude,
which one is it?
I'll tell you what. They had a full calendar of events. They got like R&B nights and night skate sessions. I think they do fairly well.
Well, I think it's older people. I think they're going.
Maybe.
I don't know if the young people because.
I mean, I did have to walk through a metal detector on the way in, which was a little unnerving.
Oh.
But then again, I'm glad because I didn't. That would suck if somebody comes in there with a gun. Shoots up a roller skating rink.
That was a couple months ago. The roller skating rink. They had a riot out there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Locally here or elsewhere?
Are you out there, babe? Yeah. Was that the Zephyr Hills bowling alley? What bowling alley where they had that riot? I mean skating rink. Oh, it was a bowling alley. It wasn't a skating
She's Kramering in here.
Remember they showed up and it might have been a skating rink and the people said they had a problem with the birthday thing. So the mom went on the internet and said, go down there and riot. And so
she said that? She incited a riot?
Yeah, she incited a riot. They ended up arresting her. And they breaking windows in businesses down there and beating up people. Yeah. Was that a skating rink? Yeah. For some reason the riffraff hang out at the skating rink.
Oh shit! If you don't know what inciting a riot means technically, like, and you accidentally do it,
ignorance of the law.
Yeah. Like
I don't think so.
I mean, certainly not. Right? I agree.
But you know what what you're doing is wrong. to tell people to go.
But look at all the calls to action people take daily with all kinds of stuff, right? Like, let's say you're the mom or whatever, and you're fired up about this situation that happened. You're going, man, I just need people to go down there and do this. And you're firing off the hip, right? And you're not thinking about it. And then it's like, oh, a riot happens. You go, ooh. And then the authorities show up at your door. And you're like, oh, damn. Like, can I take that back? It's like, no takesies backsies. You incited a riot.
I agree with that.
Isn't that kind of...
Because I'm never going to go on Facebook and after, like, I had a bad experience at mini golf and go, you guys need to go whip some ass at the mini golf. I want you to tear the windmill apart, and I want you to take all the golf balls and dump them in the river.
But what if you had a really terrible experience at mini golf and you got on there and you were just fired up? You're fired up, and you're
not.
just...
You're
not that kind of guy.
I'm never going to threaten anybody with physical violence, and I would expect that if I did, it might come back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
So that's on her,
but
man.
No, I agree it is. But there's a lot of people that they get real fired up, and then they look back, and once they have a chance to, they don't, it's that whole cooling off period.
They go virtual Coco.
Yeah, virtual Coco, and it's like you got to have that cooling off period before you go, firing off.
You do.
It's bad news if you don't cool off.
I try not to fire off anything anymore.
I know, I'm done.
Like, why? What are you firing off? And who gives a shit about what you're firing off? Nobody.
You're firing off into the void, dude. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Goes back to my theory is the world is based on fake likes. As you like everybody's post that you want to like your post, and you couldn't give a shit about that post, but you like it because they put it up there, and they're like, wow.
Reciprocity.
Matt didn't like my picture of me and the kids at the beach. Well, fuck him, and fuck the hang.
A couple weeks ago when my birthday rolled around and I got birthday comments, people saying happy birthday on Facebook or whatever, which is very lovely. It's nice. But I didn't really check my Facebook that day or the next day. So, and then I kind of looked at it and I'm going, oh, there's all these people wishing me a happy birthday. That's lovely. But now I'm going, it's too late for me to like write something back or like, so now it looks like I've ignored there's no reciprocal likes like you're saying, right? Like, happy birthday, Matt. Well, thank you so much for the happy birthday. I didn't do any of that. So now I look like a dick.
Wow, what a dick. What a dick.
But you're right. It's just a matter of reciprocity of like what
it's a vicious circle.
Did you not like my happy birthday to you?
So I try not to like a lot of stuff. Most people aren't expecting a like. So you then throw out the occasional likes and you can get away with it.
Just one every now and again?
Every now and again.
Yeah.
You want to get in that whole like game. It's a brutal game. It's a dirty game, man.
Yeah. No. I was watching one of my stoicism videos, and they were talking about spring cleaning of like, getting things, basically like, get some shit off your plate. You know what I mean? Like, hey, do less. I was like,
I'm into that.
Yeah, I like this. And they're like, don't have anything to do with social. If it's not bringing you joy and it's not adding to your life, all this, just take it out. I'm going, there's, it's almost like those little reminders that you have to have sometimes. I'm going, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And before you get caught in the trap of looking at your ex feed every 2 minutes and all this stuff, like if you just eliminate it, I was like, not a bad idea.
If I didn't do the shows that I do, I would like to think that I could eliminate it because it doesn't bring a lot of positivity to my life at all. I'm just trying to get information, stuff to talk about, but I got to sift through all that mind-numbing shit. And then you start watching something and you're like, oh, I'm going to go and watch the next 45 seconds to see if it pans out. And it doesn't pan out. And you're on to the next stupid ass thing. It's the death scroll. It's terrible.
I am admittedly, I did get sucked into this Bonnie Blue thing going on.
Her being like, she's in Cancun or something.
So you followed it too.
Oh, yeah. It's all over. It's all over the feed.
It's all the rage.
But I don't know what she's doing. It just says she's in Cancun. And
she's down there clocking bodies,
is
dude.
What is the deal? How is she making money? She doesn't do this stuff for the joy of it. She makes money money. So is she filming all these dudes getting filmed, or she just goes in a room and then they film them coming out? Who's paying for that shit?
I don't know what her body count is for this weekend or what she's trying to accomplish, but no, she doesn't typically get paid for that. But maybe she's got an OnlyFans or something like. Either way, she just bought a sweet Ferrari.
Oh shit, she's rich. She's getting
balling,
paid for it for sure.
know.
She's getting big bucks for it.
But I'm more fascinated with this Cancun thing because it is people are tripping out like about these 18, 19, 20-year-old boys down in Cancun, 21, however old, you are doing spring break stuff, and they are freaking out that she's there and she's loving being there and she's giving up her holes. She's on a tear. I mean, Blue is on a tear down there. But I'm thinking to myself, like, people are really hating this. Like, there's people going, there's a lot of hate going on. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I don't know. Is she really doing anything wrong, or is she's just announcing that she's a whore?
I don't think, like, I could care less. And I wouldn't understand why, like, I wouldn't mark out to Bonnie Blue if I was a 20-year-old. I mean, somebody.
But I could see how a 20-year-old would.
Some, but that's the type of guy they are.
Yeah, they're Cancun spring break
that wants to see a girl cranked 1,000 times.
Well, they're in Cancun. They're spring break. They're with the boys.
I've never been that guy.
Yeah,
Ever.
So you have to put yourself in place of those guys. So it's understandable, though, right? How all these spring breakers would be going.
Yeah, because
that's what you do.
So, but she's. So I mean, she just got to come up with. It's a perpetual. Does your vagina get just wore out when you're
Donna?
when you bang 1,000 guys in the next week, you got to bang, a dozen at least to keep the momentum going. And then you got to go someplace else and you got to bang some guys in an old folks home. Got your new gimmick. Did you see that gimmick?
I did see that gimmick. That was her friend, though, right?
I can't tell the two apart.
Yeah,
they're both.
One's focusing on a whore lifestyle in one direction, and one's in
It's
Cancun.
a different deal. They say, you take this avenue and I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to fuck all those guys anyway.
But they're both lovely looking women, dude. Like
Not for long.
Well,
I can you can bet on almost anything nowadays. Anything. I want to bet on how long before one of these chicks commit suicide, and I will take the under for fucking sure.
Oof.
All these you never hear of these famous porno chicks retiring into happiness. ever. They always kill themselves. They just wind up in the gutter. So this girl she's taking porn and she's taking it to the next level.
She has ramped it up. Yeah.
I mean, you're a vessel. You're just like a worthless vessel. When 1,000 guys are cramming you in 24 hours, you're just a worthless.
1,057, please.
And in her brain, she is worthless. She hates herself so bad.
Well, hold on. I don't know if you can diagnose her like that.
Yeah, yes, I can. She had sex with 1,057 guys in 24 hours, and that's, Your Honor, that's all. That's the only evidence I have. Case closed. I win.
Some people call that motivated to set a record.
No.
Not going with that one.
Fucking record. Records are meaningless.
Okay.
You can pay the Guinness Book of Records for any record you want. That's the only records there are, is the ones that you pay for in Guinness.
Well, hold on. Let me go back to with the Bonnie Blue thing. All these dudes, like, they're all surrounding her in a pool and they're all loving it, right? They're all really having a good time with it. And I'm thinking to myself, and you can see other girls getting sort of upset or jealous of, like, why are they paying so much attention to that one, right? Like that kind of thing. And it's like, well, it's clearly obvious.
She's famous.
She's internet famous, and she puts out, like, they've got a chance. They don't have to work for this one like they would have to work for you in Cancun on spring break. This is like a given. Like, this is consensual all day long, and it's a given. And the reality of it is, she's not even, like, of MILF age. She's only 25. She's only 25. She's not even. So for a spring, she's like I've seen the argument of going, oh, well, she's taking advantage of these young boys down in Cancun. I'm going, okay, a 20, 21-year-old in Cancun.
Grown men.
Yeah, like she's only 25. Like that's not a big disparity.
I think it's they want the story.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They want that's the only reason to have sex with her. I mean, if you're having sex with her, it's going to be sloppy seconds because she's doing like 7 or 8 guys in a night. Who wants that? Nobody. Well, I guess I hang out with the wrong guy. I can't even imagine being the 7th guy.
But
with a woman. So you got plenty of time to score in Cancun, but you can get a really great story when you go back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you tell everybody that you fucked Bonnie Blue.
You're exactly right.
That's what it is. So
yeah.
So they're clamoring all over her.
Yeah, and she's a ready, willing, and able whore.
Vessel.
Vessel.
She's an empty vessel.
And but if she's consenting and they're consenting, and
I don't. I mean, it's. I don't know who really has a problem with it. It's just a sign. It's a sign of the times, though. It's like, okay, we've gone. Pornography progresses. There's this, and now to really make it, gangbang. What you had sex with 12 guys. 1,057, honey. Where does it go from here? Where does it go from here?
Who do you think the best looking guy is, in your opinion? Most handsome gentleman
in the world?
Just, don't think too deep about it, but just use it as just a thought starter.
I can't really. I'm going to say, Brad Pitt's pretty good looking.
All right, let's take Brad Pitt. Let's take a 25-year-old Brad Pitt, or even modern-day Brad Pitt. Do you think he could get
still
away?
Looks fucking good. What an
he
asshole!
Still looks great,
what an asshole!
Do you think he could get away with a reverse Bonnie Blue, like a Brad Pitt? Like if they were like, "Hey, look, Brad Pitt's going to be in this hotel room. His goal is to bang 1,057 women.
He's infused with Viagra.
Yes, he's got a Viagra drip, and you've each got 30 to 45 seconds to hop on him." And do whatever you want. And then, you can say, do you think that it would be the same? I don't know. Do you think you'd see a hallway lined up of 1,057?
I think you might.
Decent looking women. Not all 3s, not all 10s. Just on your average, your 5 to 7s. 1,057. Brad Pitt's in a hotel room. He's looking to set a world record. You think you get 1,057 women to line up real quick and make that happen?
You might. I think you might. If like a random good looking guy, he ain't gonna get dick.
Nothing.
But
No.
Brad, there's he's got millions of female fans who fantasize about him. There's 1,000 of them who would do. Yeah, I'll go bang him.
All right, maybe not a Brad Pitt. Yeah, I think you got to go something more mid-level, right?
Who's a mid?
You got to go with the
Timothy Chalamet.
yeah, a Timothy Chalamet, and probably still you'd probably get. Yeah, I mean he's probably got millions of fans on Instagram.
He'd probably get more than Tom Cruise for God's sake.
And then he'd get arrested outside, being like, this one was underage. You'd be like, man, I just had a Viagra drip. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, I was just making the money. Who's a third-tier star? A C-lister.
Okay, what age bracket we going with? We going older or younger?
You don't want to go too old.
So not like an Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, he's too old. He's too old.
Not that Alec Baldwin's C-list, but all right, C-lister.
Can't even really think of one.
Well, why wouldn't you just in that case just go with a male porn star, not a Ron Jeremy male porn star, but a now famous male porn star in that world? Do you think even the most famous male porn star could attract the attention to get 1,057
Not 1,000.
women?
He'd get some takers, I'm sure.
10, 20?
Yeah,
maybe
I think
30
I think at 10 or 20.
30 to roll through, they're covering their eyes, they walk in.
10 or 20. Who liked what they saw. But liked his style.
What if Gene Hackman was still alive? What would Hackman rake in on a nice reverse Bonnie Blue?
Someone would be trying to get that Gene Hackman sperm. Somebody wants that Gene Hackman sperm.
Hackman.
He was a pretty good actor. Pretty good actor.
Did he slap a woman back in the day, or did he talk about slapping women?
I never heard that about Gene Hackman.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, and I'd be.
I think so, because that would have been brought up by somebody. Even though in 1987 he slapped the shit out of his wife.
I would be stoked to see if somebody in chat knew what I'm referring to here. But I thought there was something on Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
I mean, this is years back.
Slapping his wife.
Not but like during an interview, like making a comment of the sort of like women, it's okay to slap a woman.
Are you talking about Sean Connery?
That's who I'm. My apologies to Gene Hackman. Rest in peace. Sean Connery is who I'm thinking of.
Veiled reference to you got to take him backhanded.
What's that about? Like what? Like, and that he just moved on from that. Okay.
Sean Connery.
All this time I was thinking
Sean
it was Gene
Connery.
Hackman. Huh?
He just never wavers. He's just like that.
I'll take the rapist for 20.
So he just sticks with it. It's his gimmick. He's old school.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. You think he's dead? Maybe not.
Dun, dun,
Dun. Do you think? What's your bet, Sean Connery?
Oh, I'm going
dead. I'm going dead. He died in 2020.
Ooh.
He was
COVID.
He was 90 years old.
That's a good run. It's a healthy run. Hackman had a good
Hell of a
run,
run.
but I don't know.
I don't know if he had a bad ending.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a good final season there. His final season was filled with dementia and
bad.
his wife getting bit by rats or something.
Bad
I don't know.
news.
It was a lot.
And
he got that old man face. He really
big. He went down.
Skinny
Yeah.
jaw at the end.
Most. Sometimes you'll see these 100-year-old veterans on the news. He's celebrating his 103rd birthday, and you're like, I hope I look that good at 80.
True.
And then so you see some of these, and they get the dead face. They you never close their mouth. Yeah, That's why we've defeated natural selection. Those guys get picked off 20 years ago by a lion.
Yeah.
Oh, save me. Sorry, Gramps. We're saving ourselves. And you see that, their nursing homes wouldn't be full up with vegetables.
So I guess, Hackman, 96 is a good run, but I guess he wasn't drinking the baby blood, right? I mean, he didn't have the adrenochrome access, apparently.
No.
Because
He's too good a guy.
Yeah,
He's too good a guy.
He didn't look so fresh in his final days.
His wife, they kind of dropped it, but the last theory was he died of a heart attack, they think. And his wife was panicked and was getting his heart attack medicine, and she slipped, and the space hit her on the head and killed her.
Bump, bump,
and that's it. And I'm like,
hold on, that's the latest? I thought
maybe there's something else. I don't know.
The latest I heard on my end, my sources tell me.
On the street.
On the word on the street is I thought she got some sort of rat shit poisoning or something like that, passed away a week prior to him. But he had dementia, so
he just
chances are he didn't even know where he is or what he's doing.
Oh, somebody, I do remember.
And then
her
he
being
just
bitten
died.
Oh.
Yeah, she had some sort of like...
Some kind of deal. Now I remember. Now it's coming back to me. Wife. Let's see.
We're a very poor man's TMZ right now.
I'm not seeing it. What cause? I don't know where I saw that.
That's what it said. They said she had some kind of disease that you get from rat feces or something like that.
Did she eat rat shit? Did she die from eating rat shit?
She died from that.
She died from that.
Did she get bit by a rat, or she ate rat shit, or what?
Like came in contact with rat.
Oh man.
Maybe it was like in their food. They got that. Maybe it was really dirty.
It was likely that he.
Here, what? Sorry.
It said that he was in such a state of dementia that he may not have even known she was dead.
That's...
I forgot.
So
I totally forgot about that.
Which is weird because she had gone to the store, they said, and everything. And it's like, why would you can't leave someone in that state of dementia home alone.
She went to the store to get sprinkle cheese so the rats would come bite her and then she could die to be escape from living with a 96-year-old man with dementia.
Right.
That's my theory.
Yeah. Well, then they said
they found a cheese wheel next to her.
That's funny. So, yeah, whatever she died of, supposedly. And they said she could have been dead a week before him. And then he just kind of like aimlessly wandered around. and then he,
Well, he probably
either had
couldn't-
a heart attack or fell.
That, or if he didn't have a caretaker because she's dead, now he doesn't even remember if he ate or not.
They said he may not
doesn't
have
know if he
eaten
drank
because
water.
she probably fed, made sure he ate and took care. She was like, what, 20, 30 years younger than him.
Yeah.
A
So-
spry woman of 66 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So he may not have even eaten, And
It says that Gene Hackman has a net worth of $83.8 million.
wow.
Why are you living like a couple of
Right.
poor people?
Well, hold on. What do you mean? I mean, he was in a
Well-
big ass house.
Yeah, but why
Yeah,
doesn't
but
she have
help. Some kind of help to run to the store,
Why
to,
would
to
she
do this,
take-
to do that, to
because
help her with
If
with
he's
senile
got that
Gene.
kind of dementia, you have to clean them up and stuff. It's like, I ain't doing that shit.
Dude, you never believe who I'm cleaning the poop off. Remember that
I
guy
mean-
from The Hunt for Red October? Or was that Sean Connery? Who?
Yeah.
God damn it, I did
think
the
it was
Sean Connery.
Connery.
What did Gene Hackman do?
Oh, he was in Hoosiers.
All right, I'm cleaning shit off the guy who was in Hoosiers. Either way, it's still a fun story. Wow. So,
It's a fun story.
I mean,
So
that-
why
never
wouldn't they
guess who
have?
I cleaned the shit
They
off.
could have a live-in nurse or
pretty
something.
fun.
And maybe they don't want to live in nurse.
Well, then he should have been in a home, I guess,
Boy, 83.8 million.
because they
just
said he was
wasting it.
in advanced stages of dementia.
83.8.
I mean, that sounds about right, though. 83 million.
yeah, but I mean, he was very successful.
Yeah,
But it's hard to believe that they weren't doing better.
yeah.
And where are the kids?
They got rats.
Did he have kids? Because even his
He
kids.
Isn't that weird?
They'd
that you
have to
could
be like
think-
60.
Yeah, you could
Maybe
think
they
that
don't
his
want-
kids could be like 70, right? How old was he? 90 something.
96.
So
Yeah, he was
you
old
know,
as
isn't that
dirt.
weird to think you see a 70-year-old and go, "Well, your dad." It's like,
Right,
Your
it's
dad's
like-
still alive. What?
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, I get it. Maybe they're not checking on him because whatever. But I wonder if they're
Yeah,
going,
you'd think.
finally, I get to 80. Now, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, we get to
We
split
thought-
86 million. God damn, dude. This guy was living forever.
We thought that old bitch was gonna get it all.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
dude, she was right next to him, bro. We get it. This is
Yeah.
it's happening. It's real.
They released the rats.
Yeah,
The kids.
yeah.
the
They're like, my
kids.
dad's gonna die, and that lady that's not our mom is gonna
gonna
get
take
all
it
the fucking
all.
money. And
It had to look like
And
a
then-
haunted house in there, though, when they walked in. Just rats and shit.
Mummies.
And bites and mummies. And yeah, like the whole thing had to look
Dead-
like a
yeah.
scene.
weird.
Brutal.
Oh, and the
Yes.
God forbid, the rigor mortis and the smell of not only one body, two bodies just laying
But it does
there.
seem weird if your dad's that old and stuff that you hadn't called him for like 10 days.
I don't know. I don't call people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when your mom gets that old, you might be like, I need to call and check on her every couple days.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe because he had a younger wife who would think they would both die, but
Yeah, I think if you're the kids of Hackman, you're probably like going, well, his wife's there.
yeah.
She's taking care of him.
Yeah.
I'm
Something
sure he's
happens.
fine.
Yeah.
They didn't account for rats biting the shit out of her.
Who did?
They could have not bit her. It could have been just coming. Maybe they had an old shed somewhere that she had gone in and touched something that had rat feces on it or something like
Man,
that.
what a trip. I gotta.
Whoever heard of anybody dying of that?
Yeah, I mean, how
Weird disease, you know.
and
They
was
say
she-
people, so many people a year die of it, but I've never heard of that.
She died of scurvy. Huh? What was scurvy, anyways? I feel like was that
I know it's a lack of citrus, whatever the
Bye.
F that means. Bye.
lack of citrus?
That's that's what they'd get on sailing ships because
Couldn't pack a couple oranges?
well, they started to when they figured it out. I think. Oh, Gene,
a little vitamin C.
what do they call? I want to figure out what they call that.
What are you trying to figure out?
The wife's death.
The rat poisoning disease?
Yeah, I want to know what the deal is. Oh, come on! What is disease that killed Gene Hackman's wife?
Hackman.
It's a respiratory
Wife.
illness
Rat.
linked to hantavirus, a rare disease transmitted by infected rodents. So she might have got a rat bite or rat poop.
Man.
So-
Dude. I mean, why are you do rats? I thought rats typically run.
Generally, I think they do.
Of all the things, you're going to get bit by a rat and it have this.
And it have the hantavirus. Infections typically occur when the virus becomes airborne from a rodent's urine, droppings, or saliva. So you get it by breathing it.
Okay.
So you might. She probably has. If you've got
some spores.
she probably had a filthy house.
Oh,
You know, they were
man.
both going downhill. They
Big
couldn't-
ass filthy house.
Well, they had $80 million to hire a maid, and they probably. I don't know.
Is it weird that I want to see
I don't
the footage from the scene? And I'm not one to like want to see that stuff, but this is so intriguing because I want to see, like you said, is it filthy in there? Was it like, did they become hoarders?
I'm fascinated. I want to know.
Or is he just laid out on the floor? That's it.
We'll never know. Here's them in better days.
Yeah, way better
Here's
days.
them in way better days. That's got to be 20 years ago, right? Or maybe even more.
So he was like 76 there?
Or he might be. He looks like he's more like 66. So that's 30 years old. So she's in her 30s. She looks.
Was Hoosiers his? She looks like Akira. Was Hoosiers his most famous work?
It's a good question.
Arguably
It's a
speaking,
good
I mean,
question. That's
I've never
that's
seen
a big one. I don't know. Did he win an Academy Award from that? I don't know. It's a good movie too. It's a real good movie. He's just a good actor.
I remember him from some sort of like military movie where he plays some sort of general or something like that. That seemed like the roles he was made for.
He was Lex Luthor in the original Superman.
Oh, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. I don't even know who Lex Luthor is.
He's a bald-headed villain
Oh, okay.
in Superman. He did some comedies too. He
Yeah.
was in the Royal Tannenbaums, and I never cared for any of the Wes Anderson films at all. It's like if it's Wes Anderson, I refuse to even look at it. I don't like it. He's popular. He wins awards. I don't care for it. I watched the Royal Tannenbaums for 25 minutes, and I went, okay, not watching this anymore.
I had that one on DVD, and I never even opened it up. I was like, what is this?
Probably a good move.
Yeah, I was like, I think the cover of the DVD had like a bunch of people on it. I was like, this looks sporadic and chaotic, and I'll just pass on this.
Too many people.
Yeah, there's too many. Is that the one I'm
Any-
thinking of?
and-
There's a
and
lot
yeah,
of people.
There's a lot of people. Any of these movies, especially if they have a lot of cameos, or the big cast. Nowadays they like the big cast, like they got everybody from Seth Rogen and Chris Hart,
Right.
to Jackie Chan making an appearance. It's usually a shitty ass movie, man. They're just relying on star power.
Do you remember? Oh God, I wish I could remember the movie. Oh man, it was. I don't know. Ryan Seacrest had a cameo in it, and it was. Oh my God, I think it was. 40-Year-Old Virgin. No, not 40-Year-Old Virgin. It was another Seth Rogen flick where he gets a chick pregnant.
Knocked Up.
Knocked Up.
Knocked Up.
I think it was that one. And Ryan Seacrest has a cameo in that one. And he's playing like, he's doing the interview guy. And they're like, hey, we got this person coming up for your interview. And he's like, who is this person? Like, why am I interviewing them? Like, well, he's like, I'm more famous than 3/4 of the people I interview. Why the fuck am I doing this? But it was so true. Like, and it really, to me, that made me a fan of Seacrest right there because he had a good spirit about it. And but it's true. Like Seacrest,
it was pretty self-deprecating.
Yes.
And it was like, I really enjoy characters or actors who do that. It's like, if you can poke fun at yourself like that.
Yeah.
And he did it. He was a decent actor too.
Yeah, and
he pulled it off.
It was great. And then I'm going, all right, I like this Seacrest guy. And now I'll watch it, like, whenever I'm tuning around Wheel of Fortune. That guy's, like, again, love him or hate him, he's great at what he does. Everything he does,
Hogging up all the
his lane,
all the
he's
money.
great
He's
at.
hogging up all the money.
All the money. God bless him.
Oh, I'm not I say I like him. I'm just not a fan of people who they see the
Have too many jobs?
No, he's like, oh, you're looking for a vanilla fucking milk toast who never says not a word that's compelling or bad. I'm your man. It just depresses me. That's the decline of civilization.
You need those. I'm good with it. You got to have.
Its radio show is the worst radio show in the history of radio shows.
See,
it's
that
god awful. Oh, you probably can't. Never mind. I can't take that back.
No, it's not. I don't know. That's not my lane, right? Like I'm not, but I'll watch him on, whether it's the New Year's Eve or the random interviews or, whatever, all the other projects he has going on. But he's really good at all those projects.
He's very professional. He's incredibly professional and seamless.
Exactly. Like
Well, his radio show, he doesn't even try. He's not even trying. It's like 2.5 breaks an hour. Let me talk about. He'll talk about avocado toast. He's a totally for a chick-based audience.
Well, it's not for you.
No, it's for stupid women.
No,
it's for stupid women.
Nope, it's for everyone, Mike. No.
You know what? We're gonna take a break.
Already?
We're on a tight time schedule.
Oh, that's
we're tight
right.
time schedule tonight due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah,
and
I got to work overnights tonight. I got my new job.
Yeah, he's got the 3 to 7 shift, so he's got to take a nap. He's got to take a nap.
That's right. That's right.
We've been there before. You've been there before doing the the 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. I know you did overnights and they did the morning show. It's like those things will kill you, man. That lifestyle will kill you. It's terrible.
There is something special about people that work overnights, man. There is something really special about living that life.
That's a rough life.
You are digging in if you're working overnights.
Imagine there's some good things about it, Like when you're awake, there's never any traffic or anything. But boy,
so that's good.
I only did it on the weekends, and it was rough.
What were you doing overnights?
I would go in at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night on the Power Pig.
Oh, okay.
And I would run the Friday night countdown.
Yeah.
And then
Number 9.
Exactly. And the Power Jam, all that stupid, like 3 or 4 hours of it. And then like 1 to 2, they let me do like the Opie show. I was Opie Taylor, and I would do that. And then I go down to WFLA.
How many personalities did you have? I've never heard of this Opie Taylor. I've known you forever. I've never heard the name Opie Taylor get brought up at all.
I don't think it ever did get brought up.
Why did you go? Who was Opie Taylor? That was just a name
just
you
a
made
name.
up?
One of those. I was never good at coming up with names, obviously. Manson, Buckwheat, Opie Taylor, just the horrific names.
What if I was like going to do the opposite? Be like, wait, you're Opie Taylor? You were Opie Taylor? I remember you.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't remember Opie Taylor. Taylor was pretty bad.
You used to do overnights and run the Power Jam.
Yeah, but then I do FLA from 2 a.m. until 7 a.m. and it's like, it was almost 12 hours. It's just so. Oof. I could barely get home. I was like, I'm devastated.
I would go in about 10 o'clock at night, record some production stuff, do whatever my tasks were. Then I'd do overnights from midnight to 6, do the morning show until 10, do prep, all that stuff. We'd probably maybe grab some lunch until about noon or 1 by the time it all ended, right? And then I'd go home, pass out, wake up, and do it all over again. And that was just it. And then on the weekends, gigs and appearances.
You had no life.
No.
Yeah, that's yeah. See, but back in the day, if you were driven like that,
that was what you just did. There was no.
Yeah, and that's the only way to get ahead.
Yeah,
you had to outdrive everybody. You have to be there. Be there. Look at me. I'm a go-getter, and then that's the way you succeed in radio.
I never once thought of going, I'm going to say no to this. Like, no, I'm working too many hours. No, this isn't that didn't even exist.
Nope.
So anybody working overnights, props.
If you were an intern at the Power Pig, I knew so many interns who got jobs in radio for life. That's all you had to do. The radio broadcasting school. No, just go down.
Oh my God, the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
What a scam artist that is, man. No, can you imagine going to your PD? You got your tape and your Connecticut School of Broadcasting license, and he just laughs at you.
It was always great when we get the interns and they turn in their stuff and they'd be like, "Oh, I just graduated from CSB," and we're like looking at each other like, "Yeah," and and then it's like, "What else can you do?" Like, I'm double jointed. We're like, "Fuck yeah."
I have 3 testicles.
Show me how stretchy you are.
Yeah. You got if interns got jobs. Almost every single if you just stuck it out. If you stuck it out and got jobs.
But it's a rough stick.
Oh, it is a rough stick. You get treated. You do all the worst shit. Yeah.
Living on Gordita coupons, man. It was fun.
We're gonna take a quick break and be back with more of the hang and hang overtime coming up after that. Thanks for tuning in. Hit it, Cheech. Fucking me with my pot down. God damn it. God.
Hit it again, Cheech.
Hit it again, Cheech. You ODing mother effer.
God, I love Christmas. It's a good Christmas song, boy. Clap your hands. Sing along. Christmas gives me a on. Who would have thought that the lights and bows would make me horny? Christmas, I don't know. I guess I got a dirty mind. But when I see Santa ringing that bell, I want to mount him from behind. Christmas presents. Santa's got his sack. But thinking about this time of year, I get a Yuletide time. Christmas gives me a on. Who would have thought that the lights and bows would make me horny? Christmas sleigh bells. Santa's list is checked. And ever since December 1st, you know I've been erect. Christmas, milk and cookies, leave Santa some snacks. But I got a present just for you. I got a one-eyed elf inside my slack. Christmas gives me a on. Who would have thought that the lights and bows would make me horny?
It's time for Dank Thoughts. That was Dank Thoughts with Ned.
Wow.
It's time for Dank Thoughts with Ned.
I got really baked last night. And I went to Taco Bell. And I was thinking, what's a Taco Bell? Is there a bell in Mexico you ring when the tacos are done? And then I thought, if that's true, why don't we install a giant stereo system on the border? And every couple hours, you play the Taco Bell sound effect. And all the immigrants run back to Mexico. I guess that's where they get the slogan, run for the border. But then I Googled it and found out the owner of Taco Bell is named Glenn Bell. Are you just sticking up for his honor?
Hey, don't say that about
I
Roger.
thought that was the running joke. Was he was like, "Hey,
That
ladies."
Hey, ladies.
Exactly.
You're going to be at Hooters today. Yes, I'll see you there.
Creepy Roger Schulman.
Got my Hooters card.
Creepy Roger Schulman. I forgot about that guy. Yeah, that chaps my ass. There's in the Tampa Bay Radio Hall of Fame. Roger Schulman, number 33.
Roger P. Showman.
Just ahead of Mike? Who? Just behind Roger P. Schulman.
I think
Fuck.
I don't know if I told you, a few years back, there was like some sort of radio like get together of like
Yeah.
and
Tampa Radio
Yes.
History Group.
and like nobody ever reached out like or invited me or you, I don't think, which is
No.
fine. Like I don't, it's not. I don't really care. It's not that. It's more funny than anything. But then prior to that, a few years before that, there was another one, and it was at like an ale house, and I just happened to be eating lunch at the ale house, and I was like, a lot of radio people here. Like, this is weird. And then I come to find out, there was a big old get together with everybody, and I just happened to be there. Nobody said hello to me. I didn't say hello to anybody. I was like, oh, this is strange. I don't think the radio get together. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, I didn't get my invite either.
Lost in the mail.
I think we're tainted. Tainted with the taint on us.
There's definitely some of that. Yeah.
The taint. Yeah, 3-day parts for about 10 months.
Wait, before the was that
No, it was
before the ratings
No, it was
cheating happened, or
That was a little longer.
okay?
But it was like 10 months, and I was having it was a lot of. It was like I was doing basically what you were doing. I was just working all the time, but I was so much fun. I was creating every day and working in the studio and had so much fun. And I forgot what we're talking about now.
You were talking about triple day parting, having
No.
fun, just
I was
working
talking about something. I was to say something
before
else.
the ratings cheating or something like that.
Yeah, it was something about the ratings.
Not your ratings cheating.
No, not my ratings cheating. Oh, so it's like, and then one day I come. It's like after 10 months, I come in and I have my sheet of my CD or whatever, my 12 breaks a day for Ned,
Yeah.
which I give every morning, and then they send them over to Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we're not doing the Ned thing anymore. That's the notice I get.
Why?
And I was like, oh, well, at least you could have done was tell me yesterday so I didn't have to work on an entire show.
So you were worried about the one extra day of work?
No, that was just insult to injury.
I got you.
Insult. It's like, that's how you tell me? It's like
Yeah.
doing afternoon drives is kind of a big deal, I thought. And for me, it was. It's like, I'm fucking.
Yeah, I mean the Tampa market.
I'm putting my
afternoon
heart
drive,
and soul into it.
You're putting your heart and soul, and you're not even doing it live.
No, not no, definitely not. Yeah. I didn't do it live. No, I was not that much of a workaholic.
There is a funny. That's
It's
funny
pretty
in itself.
Funny.
That's pretty.
It's pretty funny.
You know, like
But he was like, well, what I want to do is we're going to do 98.7, and I want you to do your mornings, and I want you to do Ned's in the afternoon. And I was like, at this point in my career, I was like, that sounds great. If you build a studio in my house,
whoa,
because I'm not gonna broadcast it away from my family, all
Yeah, that's a
day,
long-
all
that's a
day
long day,
At this
yeah.
point in my career, I didn't need, if I was
Yeah.
an up and comer, you're like, just like Sirius when we did a show from 6 to 10 and then one from 3 to 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is an opportunity, and you do it. But
Yeah.
at that point in my career, I'm like, if you build me a studio, I'll damn sure do it.
So you built it here. You had a Telos line and everything.
Had Thomas. Were you around for Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas built. Oh, he did, great job, man. That
I've
guy
never
was money.
seen
That guy
that.
was money.
Is it
Yeah.
still?
It's
there?
almost presentable. I may take you back there.
I'd love to see it. I've never seen it.
It's not as good as it was. It's
I
a
mean-
long time ago. It's a new board and everything. Like this is back when things were going downhill,
Mm-hmm.
and the board fried. And so I was like, gonna get a new board for the studio, and then they gave me some board that was sitting in the back for
Yeah.
78 channels that I didn't need. I was like, well, as long as it works, you know. But it's
Yeah, man, I'd love to see that if it's not too much trouble.
I think
at
we
some
just
point.
cleaned up all the Halloween decorations over the weekend.
Was it a storage unit?
It was
in there?
jam packed.
Oh, dude.
We got them all in the closet now, but it's like Donna's she's a very neat person. She's very organized. And over the last few years, as the kids got into their late teens and young adulthood, they come Halloween day, especially Trace, looking for a costume. And you'd go in there the next day after the party and everything, and you'd see that there's five boxes, and the things must have been gone. It's like a bomb hit the area, and it's like, it'll never be the same.
Yeah.
We'll never reorganize that. And now we just stuff everything in. It's quite a thing. We have quite a Halloween party inventory from all over the years.
I was cleaning up my house. I did a burn pit finally last night from all this shrubbery and all these palm fronds and everything that was left over from a hurricane. And they've just been sitting in my yard. And think about how long that's been. It's been like months. And we had burned some of it, but I just didn't have it in me to burn it all. So they just kind of ended up sitting there. So last night I fired up the fire pit. I was like, let me just throw this stuff in there. But I'm going, oh, wow, it looks much better now. Like, I wish I had done that six months ago, you know? Like, it's crazy. You start cleaning up a space and you go, it's nice.
Oh, it's nice when it looks, it's a lot of work, though.
Well, it is a lot of work, but it's shitty when somebody else comes in and just, messes with it. You go, I just did this. Like, I just cleaned this, and now.
Who's messing your yard up, man?
Not yard life in general, whether it's like, I'll do dishes all day long. I'm just nonstop. And then somebody come right behind me, leave dishes. And God damn it, here I am doing dishes. Like it's
I was thinking of getting a job as a dishwasher. Because I wash a mean dish.
Me and you together.
We're going to go get a dishwashing job.
Let's
as
just
a
do
team.
that.
As a team.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's like we're a team. We work really good together.
We interview like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly do in Step Brothers.
Exactly.
We'll wear tuxes.
He does forks. I do knives and spoons. He's got the skill position. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be a dishwasher. I got a bunch of branches down here from the hurricane, and in the pasture next door, there's a bunch of trees down. Man, I ain't got it in me to clean. I ain't got it in me to chainsaw a bunch of trees up.
Well, is it in your vicinity? Because if it's not in your immediate vicinity, then you can kind of just out of sight, out of mind.
It's out of sight, out of mind. Over here, I've got several piles.
See, I've never even
I piled
seen
them all up. You see, they come right down the driveway. They're on,
Oh, okay.
They're there too, and I got to pick them up. I got a problem with my stomach when I bend over. So I'm not doing a lot of picking up lately. So they've been there for about 3 months.
Life happens.
When Weston moved out to Arizona, he was the only guy to ever do anything for me.
Wait, he moved to Arizona?
Yeah, his girlfriend got a job out there, and he moved to Arizona.
I didn't even really. How does he like it out there?
He's only been out there a couple weeks, and right now she's working, and he's
stuck in the desert of Arizona.
He's in the desert. And he's being a house husband right now. And I was like, how do you like being a house husband? And he was like, I love it. I was like, good for you, buddy.
Was it a sarcastic I love it or a real
No,
I love it?
It was a real I love it. I could see him being a house husband for a while.
Arizona. So is he literally in the desert, or is he surrounded by a city? Like, what's the...
He's like 30 minutes from the nearest town, and he's...
Fucking... That sentence scares me in any scenario other than the apocalypse. It's fine. But that sentence is like the 30 minutes from the nearest town. Now, the nearest town doesn't even mean
It's not a huge town. Like he's nowhere near Phoenix. That'd be a trip.
Yeah, that's a city.
That's a city.
town.
Like they they go hiking in their backyard in what looks to be the Sierra Nevada mountains.
That won't get old.
I always
He'll love it.
I always think that it's like I could move out to the most beautiful place in the world, and after about a week and a half, I'd be going, "There's the fucking mountains again." You whoop-de fucking do.
We'll do that same hike we've been doing.
No, let's not.
Let's go counterclockwise. Woo!
Oh, it's T minus like 30 or 40 minutes till the launch.
Oh, that's right.
No,
it
you
got
get scrubbed. What?
Oh, the astronauts are going to be stuck even longer in space. Even Elon can't save
Was
them.
this the rescue mission?
This was.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
I blame the Democrats. No, I don't.
Hydroelectric issue.
That's smart people stuff.
Oh
Man.
Watch pad.
Launch pad issues. Well,
I mean,
I'm sure they'll find another window to rescue the astronauts
beautiful.
that Biden left up there for the last 6 months.
It was a beautiful night for a launch.
Yes.
Too bad. It's gorgeous out there. Well, we'll be watching again. When are they going to do it? Try again tomorrow. I'll forget tomorrow. See, I was all locked in for today.
Well, I like the fact that your wife was kind enough to put the note in here of like Space Shuttle 748, right? Like the launch time at time of this recording. But I look at this, I'm going, Space Shuttle. I'm going, not to nitpick, but it's not anything even close to the Space Shuttle,
No,
right? Like,
no.
think about the difference. And I get it, because everybody, you go, hey, Space Shuttle launch, space launch, whatever. But like SpaceX versus the Space Shuttle, Jesus Christ, we're talking worlds apart, right? Like on every level. What did the Space Shuttle used to launch? Maybe like twice a year?
Maybe, yeah. It wasn't that frequent. It was an impressive launch, though. It was an impressive launch. There those big-ass fuel cells on each side.
Yeah, those big boosters.
And a couple times you got a really good show.
Yeah. The special effects.
Oh,
yeah.
Spectacular.
But now you look at the SpaceX launch, and it's like, okay, another day at the office. Launch at 2, 3, a week.
None of them are getting past the firmament, Matt. They're all blowing up before they there's no space.
Oh no!
No
Don't do
space.
this. No, don't do this.
No moon. No fucking moon.
So we've gone from a moon landing conspiracy to there actually just not
There's
even
no
being a
moon.
moon.
There's not a moon. I'm fully believe. I don't believe I'm alive right now. I don't believe I'm
I
alive.
think that's a great idea, where we just take the conspiracies to just
To the next level.
To the next level. Like, guess
Next
what?
level.
There's not even a moon. We're not even on a planet right
A
now.
lot of people think there's no moon.
Is that? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's a thing, but is it like a real hardcore, widespread
Yeah,
conspiracy?
there's no space. There's a firmament that is impenetrable.
Okay, you say the word firmament.
I don't know
but
what it sounds good. It's like a good word.
It's a great
It's
word.
stuff that you can't get through.
Oh, like a seal. We'll call it an earth ceiling.
And I don't know what's on the other side of the firmament.
So
It's a
it's like the Truman Show.
It's a Truman Show we got going on here. That's the only explanation when you look what's going on in the world today. It's preposterous. It's not an intelligent civilization. We're a joke. We're
Hold on.
devolving.
What are you talking about? There's
Politics, everything about the world, the wars, everything is about the world.
but then look at the great things that are happening.
What? I'd like to hear them.
I mean, you got to give me some time to research it. You can't just spring this on me.
Yeah, you're gung ho. Ain't shit happening.
Electric cars, rockets being shot into space, people communicating in ways that they've never been able to communicate before,
Like what?
porn being fully accessible.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of great, interesting things happening.
shit happening. We're devolving into morons. Women are screwing 1,057 guys in 24-hour periods. The Kardashians have the #1 TV show of all time.
It's all time,
I don't know.
Oh, just make that one up?
Money-wise,
Yeah.
I mean,
bro.
they were like the what's that stupid? The guys with the Duck Dynasty. Those guys made bank, man.
Good for them. What did they do? I never watched Duck
And
Dynasty.
I didn't watch it either. And
Did they
were,
literally shoot ducks, or
no,
what was their
they
thing?
They made duck calls.
You serious?
And when one of the guys I thought was like, he went to like a prestigious school, was a normal guy. It was all just a show. It was all a big con. But good for them. Good for them. That's a good. That's a
Grow your
good
beard
con.
out, throw on some camo.
And yeah, and just put on an accent and just act.
I got sent a video of I guess is there deer calls, much like there's duck calls. There's some sort of like deer call, like a mating call, and the video showed the championships because everything in the world has a championships, no matter
Of course,
what it is.
Yes.
And it was like the deer mating call championships, but it's just a bunch of dudes up there blowing this horn or something. But the way it looks, it literally looks like they're giving a BJ to this thing because they have to like pull it out and pull it back in consistently to make the proper call. And I'm thinking, even if I was the best deer mate caller in the world, I'm not getting up there and doing that for the championship.
Not for the championship of the world.
Doesn't seem normal.
Are you sure? I've never. The only sound I've ever heard a deer make is.
To answer your question, no, I'm not sure.
That's the only sound they make it if you startle them. They make that sound, which is like
That would scare me.
that sound is everybody get and they all run. One guy sees you and goes.
I mean, that would freak me out.
Deer calls.
See, you're going to call me out on it being a deer, but I really don't know.
It might be. I mean, maybe they don't call each other around here. This guy's got a buck. Here we go. Grunt call. See, this is
Dominant buck.
so
I think there's an old DVD of him laying around.
look at you, just in the tone of your buck call. Adjustable Mylar reed. Oh my god.
Hold on. This is so messed up. So they do this just to bring a deer closer so then they can shoot it.
A buck. They're calling a buck.
So they're not even like in the business of hunting for him. Like he's not even stepping off his porch. He's like, you guys come to me and I'll shoot you. Like this is the height of laziness is where I'm seeing.
See,
it.
this is
I could be wrong.
This is
I'm
where
sure I am.
This is where I get off of being on board with hunting.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to go shoot a buck, go wander in the forest or go get in a blind and wait and go find a buck. Don't lure it there with because pretending to be a
false intentions of getting laid.
Yeah, you're gonna get some ass. So you're
like yeah,
you're hightailing it right toward this guy's fucking rifle. That's being a pussy in the woods is what it's called. It's called being a pussy in the woods. I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
You're right. The buck's getting all horny. He's like, man, I hear that call. Man, I am in. I'm so in on this. It's mating season, and then you show up, and it's just this fat neck just out there with a shotgun.
With this fucking AR-15.
Looking to blast you while you're sitting there with a buck boner, and you got nothing.
What an asshole. Come fuck me. Come fuck me.
Is that Tony Stewart? Not even making a joke. It looks like Tony Stewart.
It does. Oh, that's right. Right before he kissed him with his ass.
He was the dominant buck.
What an I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
His
so
Izzer
much.
comes out of the woods.
And Hogan comes too.
Brother, mating call. What's up, dude?
I'm always in.
Somebody call for a dominant buck.
Jesus God. Getting desperate to get higher pitch. Come on, fuck me.
Hold on.
Fuck me.
So why are there all these different tones? Like what that says doe in
estrus. That must be some form of heat. Was it always dough and estrus? Yeah, it's always dough and estrus. No,
there's dough bleat.
bleat. That's just a dough.
That's a rapper.
Dough bleat. Lil bleat.
Lil bleat.
I'm Lil bleat. That's a dough bleat. Okay. Now we got a dough and estrus. Higher
That's actually
pitch.
that's actually Stephen Hawking in Heat.
I'd rather see Stephen Hawking in here. I just see.
Fawn.
Now,
how do you know the
He's getting
differences?
desperate now. Oh, the buck knows the difference. He knows. He knows it because the deer's going. In deer language, he's going, "Come fuck me."
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy's like, I can't get any with the dough bleat. Let me move on to the fawn bleat. See what happens.
That's porn. Because a fawn, he's gonna have sex with a fawn, or why would you? Does that mean the fawn? I don't know why that means. Why would you be a fawn?
Well, I don't even know. I don't know what's happening. And the fact the name of his channel is Tom Teasers, that sounds a little weird too.
Tom's Teasers.
Tom's Teasers.
That's pretty creepy.
So he makes these devices, huh? That just you try to bring deer to
teases
pretend-
the deer.
Yeah.
And brings them right to you, and you blast them right in the face.
Oh man, I'd be so bent.
Kevin JK says he's smoking a bowl.
That's fair.
He'd be way cooler.
Yeah, way cooler.
Man, it's just cheating. It's just cheating, man. It's totally cheating.
The Bonnie Blue call.
Man, there's what's all these weird noises? I'm trying to figure out why it's making weird noises. Everything seems to be okay, but it keeps going boop-a-doo-boop.
I heard that too.
Boop-a-doo-boop, and it doesn't normally do that, and that's usually just something on the computer, but nothing. I ain't hitting nothing. You're not hitting nothing. Oh, well. Everything's fine.
Sure, it'll be fine.
We'll just move along.
Speaking of, what does this thing do over here?
Like, it's like
Is
a
it
button
sound-
bar. It's like a button bar.
Does it work?
Some of it works. Like
So if I press a button, will it?
some of it will work. Like if you hit the woo,
Can you pop me up? Is it potted
it's
up?
potted up. You could hit.
I've never messed with this thing.
You hit whatever you want. Hit something. That's a camera. Don't do that one.
Oh.
Go. That's okay.
I didn't know I had the world at my fingertips over here.
Okay, and you hit any of the orange or red buttons.
Okay,
there.
Kush Cat,
Oh, okay.
clusterfuck bringing steam.
Hold on.
You just do the Kush Cab.
You're telling me I've had access to this
Yeah.
button bar the whole time, and you've never mentioned this? We've never programmed anything in here.
I mean, it's been sitting in front of you the whole time.
I could have drops. I could be Fred Norrising things
You
over
could
here.
be Fred Norrising things. Some of them don't work. Oh, that worked. That's a rap song. That's Tracing. That's Tracing Tuttle.
From the hood.
Oh, dude.
Uh-oh, that didn't work.
Okay, I'm liking this. Sorry.
And feel free. Test them out.
What are the ones at the top here?
I
'Cause a
don't.
lot
Tell
of
me
them are
what is
unlabeled.
it? If it's unlabeled, it's nothing.
All nations from
I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
master of karate and friendship
For everyone.
One of the greatest episodes ever.
Oh,
Man,
so many good episodes.
there was a. You see, this Gavin Newsom's got his podcast now, and
Oh, is it his pod? I thought he was somebody was interviewing on there, but he's got his own podcast. Is he still the governor?
yes,
And he's got a podcast.
yes, but see, here's at least from what I gather, so he's termed out, right? So it's like, what do we do with this handsome fucktwad, right? Like, what do we do with this guy? Do we cast him aside, or do we try to prop him up to be the next leader of the Democratic Party, perhaps, whatever? So he's got this podcast, and the only reason I bring it up is coincidentally back to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is he's interviewing these people, and he's sort of trying to form a common ground. Like he had Steve Bannon on.
Yeah.
Right? And he's not arguing with anybody. He's more of like, I'm open to. Let's see where did the Democrats go wrong, right? Like what happened? Where did the train come off the tracks? You know, like
He's
one
doing,
of those.
He's doing the
things.
Chris Cuomo thing. He's slowly switching to whatever the people want.
Right.
See, because what people don't want what he's bringing anymore. The jig's finally up, so he's just going to transform to all of a sudden he's semi-Republican. That's what's going to happen.
Or he's still going to be Democrat, but he wants to appear as though he's a softer side. Like, hey man, I understand the Democrats are not what we were, and where do we go? You know, that whole thing. So he's trying to do a soft sell of his image, right? But he's not doing anything. There's no like hardcore opinions. He's not.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it reminded me of the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode of the Wolf Cola, right? Where, Frank from It's Always Sunny owns this soda brand, and it goes off the rails, and Boko Haram gets involved, and they have to go on TV and sort of apologize. And Dennis is like, no, don't apologize. You don't apologize. You say, I understand you. I hear you. And we'll do better in the future. That's kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't go that way, obviously, because that's the way that show goes. But
yeah.
But in reality, like that's what Gavin Newsom's doing.
Yeah.
Is he's pulling a Wolf Cola and he's going, "Hey, I understand you. I hear you. What can we do to work together to make things better in the future?" And I'm sitting here going, "No. You're still Gavin Newsom. You believe what you believe. You've been dug in for the last. You don't just open. You don't just expand your thoughts.
It's gonna work.
Come on.
It's gonna work.
Am I wrong in my thought process on that?
I think you're totally. You can only fight the fight for so long. If you want to make it, like he's gonna have to go on to bigger and better things. He's turned out.
Yeah,
And
and
that
the
didn't-
only thing would be
Senator or presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's not really popular to be the big tax and spend Democrat. People to kind of open their eyes to that, and 57% of the American populace supports what Elon Musk is doing. So you got to pivot.
which is even stranger to me how only 57%, but that's a whole nother story.
Now here's let me pose this to you. What they're doing now, and the stock market's going down and everything, but he's almost admitting what he's like. It's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck because otherwise we're gonna go broke. So we have to start just cutting and cutting and cutting, and that's what he's doing.
Well, we have trillions of debt to refinance.
Yes.
Soon.
So we can't afford to be adding to the debt. So you gotta start trimming. And you'll see Elon Musk tweeting and saying stuff like the Democratic Party had this and this network of things where they were funding campaigns, just millions and millions. And I'm waiting to see the Republicans get exposed for all their theft, but I'm not seeing it. And it's just as equal on the Republican side. You'd be insane to believe that one party has moral high ground when it's an entire group of criminals.
I agree with you 100%. I agree. I think the Republicans modern day maybe are better at hiding it simply because the Democrats were so overt about it for the last 4 years, right? Like maybe it was just so like the grift was so strong that they just could do whatever they wanted, right? They set it up in a way where even if a Republican got in office, they didn't expect the X factor of an Elon Musk to come in and go, "Hey, I'm going to call you out." But be that as it may, I agree with you. The Republicans are doing the grift too, and yeah, I don't feel like there's the expose happening, but that's also because the Republicans aren't. I don't know. They're not the ones boycotting Tesla. They're not doing all those sort of things. I think the Republicans are in hiding of going, "Oh shit, we were in the grift too. Let's try to just maintain, be cool."
Or I guess if you're cleaning house. See, I don't have any idea whether any of this is actually real or what the real plan is, but you're cleaning house and you're doing what needs to be done like Donald Trump needs to be done. You really can't do it alone. You have to have one party totally out the other one and clean house. So you have to be in bed with these criminals to get rid of the waste and those criminals. But these criminals are still going to be there.
Yeah, I think you're.
So I don't understand what's going on.
I think you're right. I think again, like as I've always said, I'm in the gray. I think there's corruption and evil and bad shit on both sides, right? Both sides. It's just the way it's going to be.
Of course there is.
So I would be disingenuous to sit here and be like, no, the Republicans are all good. No, of course there's pieces of shit in that party. And of course they're doing stuff wrong. And yeah, maybe at the current moment they're not being exposed as heavily. Maybe as time goes on, they will be. Maybe the plan is, okay, yeah, the first and easiest and the path of least resistance would be these Democratic, grifters and the NGOs on their end. And then as things progress, then maybe you tilt that more towards the conservative end, and those folks start to get exposed. I hope that's the case.
That would be we'll have to. That's a long wait and see.
It's a very long wait to see.
I don't understand how what's going. It just makes no sense. What's happening is what needs to happen, but they've never let it happen because everyone in Washington depends on keeping it the way it is, and that you have to believe that finally great men have decided we're going to stop this shit and we're going to cause a lot of pain, but it's the only way to save America. And I find that really hard to believe because there's not a lot of great men that I see in Washington.
No, there's not.
At all.
But I also find it hard to believe that the stat you said, 57% of Americans agree with the Doge
Elon
cuts.
Musk, the Doge cuts.
That seems unreal to me. Just seeing that neither me or any of my peer group or family or friends that I know of have ever been asked a goddamn question on one of these polls.
Ever.
So, if you're sampling 100 people but you're sampling them in Seattle and you come out with 57%, that means nationwide it's probably 80% pro. You know what I mean? Like just based off of the market you're doing that in, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm not believing
the
these
numbers,
approval polls. It just doesn't seem
I've never believed
at scale.
I've never really believed any poll because the news, whatever the news puts, is the poll that they want to put out there. CNN's not going to put a poll out there. Go, oh, it's about that.
Yeah, and the pollsters and all that. Like, I just can't. I can't believe it.
I'm not a big. Like you said, I've never been polled for nothing ever.
Yeah.
My whole life. Neither's my wife. Neither anybody in my family ever been polled for nothing.
I know real life and on social media, that's the new poll is when you get ratioed. When you put up something and 80% of the people hate the shit out of it versus 20% of the people liking it. You got ratioed. That to me is a poll of an average, mostly anonymous person who's able to just go, yeah, let me spit off my opinion real quick. Like, that's a more fair and just poll, in my opinion, than any of these pollsters calling around to some old fuddy-duddy or some...
Are they calling only people with the landline?
That's what I mean.
I mean, what kind of
who knows?
Sample
right?
Are you getting if you're calling only people with landlines?
Yeah, I don't know how it all goes.
It's all fake. I think all polls are fake. They say whatever they want. The flavor of the day.
Yeah.
What's Fox saying about how many people support Elon Musk? Are they saying 80%? Who knows? What fake poll are they using?
Well, I don't know. But even if you're the news, whether you're Fox, whether you're CNN, whether you're MSNBC, wouldn't you, regardless of the truth, wouldn't you want to keep all those polls within a certain percentage point just to keep it as a tug of war, just to keep the tussle going, right? Just to like, oh, shit, it's only at 53? Oh, it's only at 47? Oh, but the error is plus or minus 6%, all that kind of stuff. Like,
or if you're CNN, the board at CNN, the president of CNN, they're not interested in giving the left viewpoint. They're interested in making money, allegedly, in America. So as soon as you see a vast majority of the population are like, yeah, this is CNN. We're over this super left bullshit. You start changing your program, and you become more like the right. Why wouldn't you do that? In this day, you're in media. You're consulting CNN. What are you telling them?
What's the question? The question is,
Okay, you're a consultant. And you're in a meeting with CNN. They're like, man, our ratings are way down. They don't like the message we're doing. What do we do?
I would say stop giving opinion-based news and just give, like, not everything's breaking news, number one, right? Not everything's breaking news.
Everything is
enough
breaking
of
news.
this.
It's all breaking news.
And secondly, stop. Just give facts. Like, it's okay to give facts, and like, it's all right. Yeah, your ratings might not be the highest, right? Because you're not like playing to any sort of base, right? But if you just spit what's actually happening and what they said and give full context of a conversation as opposed to cutting it off, these little things, eventually people will see it as much like people see X as the town hall. You can bring a town hall back to television. Just do that. But
they're obviously their consultants are not telling them that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
It's the same old.
We're
still bitching and whining about the same shit.
Yeah, you bring pharmaceutical dollars into it and so on and so forth.
Can't win for losing.
There's going to be other extenuating circumstances.
Can't win for losing.
But, Hey,
what's going on in the world? I usually have two topical songs that I do on Fridays, and I've stomped this week. It's like there's nothing that's exciting to me at all that's going on. What's going on other than the same Doge stuff and Trump's buying a Tesla and
let me see. Good question.
it's just
I got nothing. The only thing
it's pretty
the only thing that's sticking out in my mind is Bonnie Blue, and you already did a song about Bonnie Blue.
I mean, how many songs can you do about cranking 1,000 guys? It's only you get one. You get one song. You get one song.
I'm sure something will pop off. I mean, isn't there a peace deal in Ukraine pending? Another one of these?
It's been pending for a long time, just like the Gaza one's been pending. pending. Then Carr says, didn't Trump endorse alternative facts? I don't know what that's in reference to.
Well, he would always do that whole thing where it's like fake news. I don't know about alternative facts. I
remember you said alternative facts.
Yeah, alternative facts. That is a weird. Len Carr, you're right. That is a weird.
That's a Trumpism. Hey, there's alternative facts.
But isn't that weird verbiage? It's like it's either a fact or it's not a fact.
Not if you're Donald Trump. There's alternative facts.
Although there is gray. There is gray in facts. There is gray.
Boy, I don't think there's. I think all facts are gray at this point. All bets
That's
are
what
off.
I mean,
all
like,
bets are off. I don't know about gravity. I don't know about anything.
Like even take it back to
theory of evolution. I don't know about anything.
Take it back to Washington. What are you chopping down the cherry tree?
Yeah, well,
let's just use that as the base, right? Okay, either the fact is he did it, or it's false and he didn't do it, or there's some gray in an alternative fact of going, he did it, but the cherry tree, it wasn't even blossoming at the time, so like it really technically wasn't a cherry tree. So, you know what I mean? Like sometimes there are alternative facts, I suppose. I'm using that as a totally...
You're such a MAGA. You're such a fucking MAGA. I can't take it anymore. No matter what Trump says, you're defending him.
Nope. I look at some of the shit he says, I go, what did you do that for?
Yeah.
Like some of the shit he says gives me the ick. It really does.
I find it fascinating because I have no idea what's going on, but I do see the things he's doing, and I'm thinking, well, if you want to change, I mean, we need to change. America needs to change drastically. What we're doing, you can't just have a credit card and spend forever and ever and ever and ever. Eventually, it's going to run out. So it's got to change, and that's not going to be pleasant. And you're going to have to do things like tariffs, and you're going to have to fire a bunch of people. I don't know if that's what's really going on, but if it is what's real, that's what needs to happen, right?
Sure.
Right? And surprisingly, you say you're surprised that more people don't, but I'm surprised that 57% of Americans get it. I'm really
Yeah.
surprised. But
That's fair too. It's
My
a big
dad-
country.
my dad was a principal when they formed the Department of Education in 1970 something.
Sorry to hear that.
That he was a principal.
No, that they formed the Department of
Yeah,
Education.
he was like, this is going to be the worst thing to happen for education, and it was.
Yeah.
Putting the federal government in charge of shit.
The most inept. Yeah, it's
They never make things better. Well, you can take the money that you give to $500 billion, $500 billion, by the way, that you give to the Department of Education, and just give it to all the schools. Give it to every county.
then we won't have to raise taxes to pay for air conditioning units for the local public school system. Weird.
penny for Pasco.
There was
Dime for it's going to be a quarter for Pasco
Yeah,
pretty soon. A quarter for Pasco.
There was a dumb thing Trump said last week, at least in my opinion. It was when they did the strategic Bitcoin reserve announcement. And, if you're in the crypto game, you're like, this is really
I didn't hear what did he say? He's buying some crypto as a strategic reserve because it could be beneficial.
Long story short, what they're going to do is hold on. They're not going to sell any of the Bitcoin the government currently owns. Okay, so that's off the table. And then they're going to look at neutral ways of buying it, which meaning no cost towards taxpayers, et cetera, right? So like budget neutral ways of attaining more Bitcoin in the future. So then they've got a stockpile, which is like your altcoins, your Ethereums, your Solana, all this stuff. Anyways, so with the Bitcoin one, there's this big announcement and meeting and all this stuff. And again, if you're in the Bitcoin or crypto, this is a pretty significant thing because you would hope to see other nations follow and everything blah blah blah. And he's like, and everybody says not to sell your Bitcoin because it goes up, but who the hell knows? Been right so far, but it's like you took this like cool kind of moment if you're into Bitcoin. You took this cool thing, and at the same time of you doing this cool thing, you completely just fucking diminished it. But who the hell knows? And I was like, man, like why'd you do that? Like it would have been.
I think
It would have been nice if you could just do one announcement without fucking going on. Sometimes it's okay to stick to the script.
I think you should just be happy. That's the best you're gonna get, because he's like, crypto. I don't know why. Sure, whatever. What the hell?
That's kind of what he did, though.
Yeah, but he did it.
He did it. But
He's the only president that did it.
Even before he did that, when he's signing it in, David Sachs, who's the crypto czar, he looks at him and he goes, "So, this is good." It's like something like that. And he's like, "Yes, Mr. President, this is what the community wants. This is what the people want, and this is what was promised." He's like, "Well, if you're sure about it," like it's almost like he's like pawning it off, and then he signs his name.
Man, he's winging it. He's winging everything.
But like,
Come on.
you don't have to wing everything. Like, even when he's doing speeches, we killed the terrorists, died like a dog, begging like a dog, like that whole thing. Like, sometimes you can just, it's okay to give a firm announcement and not do anything else but give the announcement. Because when you do something else besides the announcement, it gives people room to go, what was that? Like, why did he do that?
He's almost become a character of himself, because you can see interviews of him when he was younger, and he doesn't do the Trumpisms. He just talks and makes points, and now he's all just a cliche of Trumpisms.
You're right. He's a wrestler with too many catchphrases. Mm-hmm. Like he's got one too many gimmicks.
He's got one too many gimmicks. It drove him insane.
Now, hey, crypto, whatever the hell.
Lynn Carr says, all I care about is my 401k is down almost $60,000 in the last 3 weeks.
Oh, sorry, your rich 401ks. No, I'm kidding. That does suck. But if you look at the market abroad, and I could be wrong on the stat, I think it's like even with 6 months ago, as a whole.
6 months. I don't know.
I think I'm
know.
probably
yeah. I
wrong
mean, it's
on
not.
that
It's
one.
down. It was 44,000. It was like it's now 41 something, right? Something like that.
Something like that. But I mean, if you're looking at your average of a 7 to 12% return a year, I mean, some years it's going to go well, some years it's not. Some years like this year, I do think you gotta douche the system a little bit. You got to get the interest rates down. The Fed's not going to listen to Trump, so he's got to tank the market in some other way. Refinance debt, interest rates come down, economy explodes. In theory.
In theory.
In theory.
I mean, and there will come a time, like right now, people on Social Security, they might be screwed. Come 2035, they might be out of luck. And a whole shitload of people will be in poverty. And the only solution might be, well, some people who invested in the market are going to get screwed because we've got to save the government. We've got to save Social Security. Right?
I mean,
some people are going to get screwed. Some people are going to get fired. Some people, when people fuck up for decades and decades, the bloodbath that ensues to save it all ain't going to be pretty. I don't know.
Well, but isn't that weird, though, too? Because you think back to a couple decades ago when it's like, oh, well, they're too big to fail. Remember that whole saying and how we saved the industry, airlines,
crock of shit
banking,
that was.
Everything. And you go, oh, so they're like, I mean, and the thing about that statement of how it just became a common term of, oh, they're too big to fail. But it's like, what kind of crazy thing is that, right? So, and you look at our federal government as that. It's too big to fail. But like it's failing.
It's failing already.
Failing.
Failing without,
failing. But we've bailed. I don't know. The bailouts are. It was always a weird thing to me with the bailouts.
Thank God that George W. Bush and Barack Obama completely agreed to give corporations billions upon billions of dollars. Surprise, surprise, surprise. USA. Corporations that had some of the people, some people that got money, they're the ones that caused the whole thing. These big banks with their what do they call them? The CD.
Well, they had the tranches.
When they bundle the things from the housing mortgages.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We've
Yeah.
already forgotten about their high crimes. See,
Well, they repackaged them and called them something else, and now I think those are sold on the market too. So it's just a matter of time.
I think they went right back to doing the same thing. I think they.
Yeah, they did.
I think I read some article and they're
repackaged
like, yeah, they're doing the same thing. You're like, what?
Yeah, they just called it something different, and repackaged it. And
what was the movie? They did a movie, The Shorts.
The Big Short.
The Big Short. That was
Great
That
movie.
was a great movie.
Yeah.
It pretty much explains exactly what happened and how they got away with murder.
Oh man.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up. We got to get to the OT because we're on a time schedule tonight.
I've got to work overnights.
Yeah, he's got to work overnights. He's going to play the classic tunes starting at 2:00
On hits.
on Hits at 106.3. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for Cluster F. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great one.